All right.
We are live. Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy February 16th, 2022. I am Radlin Mendoza, and this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner, and we are the founders and attorneys at immigration law firm Gardner and Mendoza.
Yeah, how's everyone doing out there
in
tonight?
Virginia Beach? Yes. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you all had a great week from the last time we saw you, because we are here pretty much every Wednesday night, 8
Every
p.m. Eastern
Wednesday,
Standard
8
Time.
to 9, we come here. We like to give you immigration updates, other legal updates, and most importantly, we like to answer your questions. So if you have a question, we want to make sure that you get it posted quickly so that we can get to it. And I also want to say hi. In addition to the Facebook, we also have our whole Twitter family out here of folks who join us, our followers.
TikTok family. And the Twitter's out there too. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Thank you. TikTok. My bad. Over here. So if you see me looking to the left here, monitoring, that's the whole TikTok crew over here. Looking at the questions over there. All right. Sorry, I was just reading a tweet about the H-2B things and then it had Twitter on my mind. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, all right. So why don't you go ahead and give our
disclaimer?
Our disclaimer, so we don't get in trouble.
Right. So here's the disclaimer. The disclaimer is that what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is technically not legal advice.
All right. Shoot. This right here. Yeah, perfect.
Got it. All right.
Sorry, we had a little disruption there, but we are all good now. All right, so we have the disclaimer. So y'all have to put the questions in the comments. Now, if we don't have a lot of questions today, we are going to probably end early. We're trying to get ready for a trip.
That's right.
And it's a little hectic here, packing for a trip.
Yeah, it's very hectic. We're scrambling to get everything together because, of course, we were working all day today. We were in court and doing other things. So,
John had a great day in court today.
I did.
Awesome.
Had a great result.
We won't give a lot of details, but it was a great outcome for our client.
It was a huge win today. So yeah, a nice win to have right before heading out of town.
Yes.
For just a very brief period.
I just want to say hello to a couple of people who are here and saying hello. Hello, Galia. Great to see you. She says, thank you for everything that you did for us. You are so welcome. Loved being a part of your family's immigration journey. But thank you for saying hello. I think you are, I'm not sure where you guys live right now, but maybe Florida. Regards to your whole family, all the big family that you have. And I want to say hi to Joshua. Hello, Joshua. Hi, he says hello from Texas.
Hi, love from Texas.
Love from Texas. And happy Valentine's Day belated to all of you guys.
That's right. And things are cool in Texas. We've been there many times. We have a lot of colleagues and friends in Texas. And we're actually going to be
going to Texas.
We're going to be in Dallas in April for a legal conference. And so we're really looking forward to that. It'll be cool.
Oh, yeah. See, I was right. Galia is in Florida. I was correct. My memory served me correct.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Lovely. Great to see you. Thank you so much for your support and joining us. We have been doing this live stream for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Just at around 2 years. It'll be our 2-year anniversary on 2/19.
Yeah, that's right.
2022. And we just want to thank all of you guys for your support and coming out here and hearing what we have to say about immigration updates. And it was a time, let's just say that, when we were doing the live stream during the pandemic, a lot of uncertainty. And we still have uncertainty with regard to processing times, but at least things have really calmed down, and we were more reacting to everything and reporting.
Oh yeah. Half of our live streams then we're dealing with all of the different executive orders that were coming out.
Right, exactly. Now we're just, happily answering your immigration questions.
Yeah. And one of the things I wanted to get out of the way real quick here is we had the Filipino Princess 1 again, who was talking about calling our office. And Filipino Princess 1, I just want to make sure you have all the correct
Yes,
information. Our
let's
phone
put
number,
it on there.
Yeah, we're going to put our information up here because we want to make sure that you're getting in touch with us and that we can get in touch with you and your friends who had some questions.
And just making sure that you are calling the correct number, because it's very unusual for us for no one to answer our phone.
Yeah,
because
she said she reached out to us and no one returned her call, but yeah, that's really unusual for our office. So we're a little curious about it.
Send me a direct message through TikTok.
But here's our number because you're joining us on TikTok. It's 757-464-9224. And I'm glad though that she also went ahead and just has put a question up there.
Yes, because Filipino Princess was actually registered, and so I sent you the few people that registered. So thank you for registering, and thank you for watching our TikToks. Filipino Princess, she's been a visitor before, and let's hear the question.
So the question was, she's got a friend who found out. Wait a second, I'm gonna have to piece this together.
Okay, piecing together. Oh, we've got people watching from all over. Gloria from the Philippines. Good morning. Good morning. Rimpi from India. That's awesome. I hope you guys are all doing well. It's so much fun to have people from all over the world. People near and far here in the 757 as well. Welcome to you guys. And it's fun. It's really, as an immigration attorney, I've learned so much about different cultures, and it did start when I grew up in an international grocery store, so we had our store for 30 plus years, and so I had early exposure to all the foods of the world and all the people from all around the world. I knew that I wanted to be a lawyer at a very young age, but I did not know I wanted to be an immigration lawyer, and that just it just kind of goes hand in hand from my childhood and the type of law that we do now.
Okay, yeah. And Ram Sharon 2021 here says, "Best attorneys, thank you for your service."
Madam thank you. Sir. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so
Thanks.
much. Oh, look, we got somebody checking in from India. That's
I know.
cool.
I know.
I love it.
Yep.
Okay, so Filipino Princess 1, I got all your information here, but what I've got so far are just some facts, but there's not an actual question. So if you could go ahead and finish off with the question, then we could get an answer. Hopefully, I understand that I'm following most of it here. You've got a friend.
You can also come to, sorry for interrupting, but you can also come to our Facebook page at Gardner Mendoza, and you can write to your heart's content. There are no character restrictions, and we'll put your question up. If you have Facebook, Filipino Princess, and we would love to hear your question that way. That way everyone can actually see it and we can read it, so there's no interruptions and it's easier to follow.
The friend basically got married and then found out that the person that she got married to was still married because the divorce had never gone through in the United States. So I get that so far, but I don't know what the question is. I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, where are we going with that?
This happens sometimes, and again, don't know where the friend is in the process. But if the friend got the green card from, so just to repeat, this person got married and did not realize that the person they were marrying the person still married to another person. So that person was not yet divorced. The previous marriage was not terminated. So what now, right? Let's say they had a marriage-based case. They got married, and this person, let's just say the husband, okay? The husband, U.S. citizen husband, was still married and petitioned for the beneficiary. She immigrated to the United States, so all is well and good. She has her green card. She gets to her naturalization stage of her case, and they have done a little digging and find out that, hey, your husband was actually never divorced, and therefore your marriage is not valid. It's like it never happened, right? So what now? What is the solution? Because the basis of her green card is no longer there. It was a marriage-based green card, and it's it's no longer there. There's no basis for the green card. So she actually, they have to get so unfortunately, and again, I'm not giving legal advice here. We have had these cases, and in our particular scenario and the facts, and they're very similar to this one, we had to get the divorce, right? Get the divorce done. The petitioner and the beneficiary had to get remarried, right? Because that first marriage was not valid. And then we had to go through the whole process of getting the green card again. So again, these are very specific to the facts that we had in our case, and don't know if they actually apply to that one, because we don't have the question there. So again, as John said, we can't give legal advice.
Hopefully that helps. If it, but again, if you want to get specifically to what her question is about it, go ahead and get it posted, and we will get to it. But hopefully that information right there answers where you're headed with that. All right.
Yeah, great question. It's actually something that happens a lot. It's not uncommon. Not a lot, but I've seen it.
Right.
More than a handful of times. Let's just put it that way. Hello to Miss Myrna. Great to see you. She's watching from home. Just saw you on Facebook with your beautiful fish tank and all of your fish. We can't really keep fish alive here. We have kept the other pets alive, but the fish, I don't know what's up with the fish. All right. So we have another question here. We have a question. Rimpy says, CR1 category in case was approved on December 7th, 2021. When will my interview be conducted? Rimpy is from India. So Rimpy, we last week reported on still the severe backlogs that are going on with all of the embassies worldwide, just massive backlog. So it's very, very difficult for me and for us to say, hey, you're going to be interviewed now in 4 months from this. That's typically what we would say pre-pandemic, but there is such a huge backlog. It's impossible to say. I think last week we talked about it being, 462,000 cases still waiting to be interviewed that are ready to go. They have met all the requirements at the NVC, documentarily qualified. And I really am scared to say that word documentarily, because I think I'm going to mess it up and it doesn't sound right to me. But DQ'd, they're DQ'd, and they're still waiting. So hang tight. Maybe there'll be a lawsuit.
Yeah,
maybe there'll be a class action lawsuit. Reach out, send us a message. And just say class action lawsuit. I just because John and I have really been thinking about, like, what can we do? We know that when we sue the federal government, things actually happen, things actually move. So we're just sort of in the exploratory stages of looking into maybe getting together with a couple of other law firms and doing another class action lawsuit to help these cases move along. So if anyone is interested in that, send us a message or just put in the comments, class action lawsuit. And speaking of just getting you more information, we do have a private Facebook page. It's called Live, Love, Immigration. And Ria will put it in the comments if you guys want to join. We are putting additional information there. I just posted the March visa bulletin. It just came out, and I just posted it to Live, Love, Immigration Facebook page. So y'all check it out. I would love to hear your stories, and you can post on it. You can post questions on it. We can't, again, give legal advice there, but it's really just a supportive community. Just you're going through your journey, or maybe you're just interested in immigration and you want to contribute and provide encouragement for those who are there. So thank you, Rimpy, for that question. And I'm sorry I can't give you a more definitive answer as to what's going to happen and when you are going to get interviewed. But hang in there and put class action in the comments if you're interested in knowing more about that. We just want to know what the interest is, and if people would be interested in that. So I said that twice.
3 times.
3 times.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. He's so sweet. All right. Let's get to some more questions.
Okay, we got a good one here. We've got Ramshran 2021, who said we were great attorneys and he loves us. And so we're going to get to that question right now. So you can see you buttered us up.
Yes. Thank you.
Actually, the buttering up came after the question. But he says, I've scheduled my citizenship interview in March. What documents should I bring and what are some advice tips?
Okay. So the documents that you should bring to your naturalization interview. So you should bring any old passports that you have. You should bring your green card. You should also bring your driver's license to show that you are in that jurisdiction. They may or may not ask for it, but I always tell my clients to bring that. And if you are applying for naturalization early based on marriage to U.S. citizen and living with U.S. citizen spouse, then you should also bring documentation to show that you have lived with your spouse. And some of those include, you guys are both on the mortgage or the lease, taxes that you filed together. Now, you don't have to bring taxes if you're not doing it this way, but it is a way to show that you guys have lived together. Your past 3 years taxes, your utility bills, your driver's license, and your spouse's driver license to show that it's at the same address. So we're not talking about I-751 evidence here. We're not talking about green card marriage evidence. We're not talking about photos and affidavits. We're talking about things that are actually directly tied to your address. So those would be my tips. And if you have any type of citations, arrests, certified dispositions, you should also bring those as well. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, and we've always gotten advice from Linda Carter, who joins us sometimes on our broadcast here, that this is not a hide the ball situation.
No, this is
they know.
They
know. So make sure you're forthright about everything.
Absolutely. And guys, that's a really important point. Naturalization, applying for citizenship it's a really exciting time. You're coming to this moment in your immigration journey that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a citizen. It's going to be, I don't have to worry about immigration anymore. I don't have to worry about renewing that green card. Maybe I can, as a citizen, I'm ready to petition for my spouse or my fiance, my parents, my siblings. So taking all that into consideration, a lot of people self-file their N-400s, and sometimes things can go wrong. And we recently saw a case go wrong. Somebody reached out to us for help. And this person, and I've seen this before, this person, did not put a speeding ticket on his N-400 application. So there is a question that says, have you ever been arrested, cited, charged, indicted, fined, imprisoned, whatever? That's a very important question. And there's a lot packed into that question. Cited is one of them. Now, I don't know why this officer went really hard after this person, but denied it because did not put it on the application. So it can happen, and then everything else gets delayed because of it. So
right.
I did a video on it on TikTok. I had someone say, and I said, and this is one of the reasons why you should seriously consider having an attorney represent you. I promise you, this would not have happened at our law firm, okay? Because we make sure that, as John said, it is not a hide the ball situation. They already know. And it's not the fact that the speeding ticket is not the problem here.
Not the problem.
It's not the fact that you got a speeding ticket. Sometimes it's not the fact that you got a cocaine possession 10 years ago. That's it's the fact that you hid the ball, or you inadvertently hid the ball, or you didn't put it on the application. Therefore, you're not a person of good moral character, and therefore they cannot recommend you for becoming a U.S. citizen. So you have to be a person of good moral character within the past 5 years. And you just had your interview. And so guess what? You have 5 more years to go so you can be a person of good moral character, because they see it as making a false statement. So that's a little thing. And, I said that, and then someone commented, it's like, but lawyers are so expensive. But when you think about it in the context of other family members you could have brought here and the income that they would have made in the time period, like you're losing 5 years, right? The amount of money you're going to pay for an appeal, the amount of money that you're going to pay for an immigration lawyer to go with you to that appeal.
That's right.
And just the more time, like, okay, so what if this person was looking to get a job in the federal government, because, you know, federal employees, and if you guys are federal employees out there, don't y'all get paid more than the private sector. I mean, that's already been established. So that's money gone there. So anyhow, these are just a few things, and I feel like we didn't really mean to kind of like go off of the questions, but it's just so important, especially for naturalization.
Yeah, you want to get it right. You know, fillings are expensive too, but root canals are a lot more expensive and more painful. All right.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yep.
Okay, so
brushing your teeth costs money, right? It costs floss, it costs toothpaste, but you know, if you don't buy that stuff, then it's going to get bad.
Tintin here wants to know, how much is the application for U.S. citizenship?
Application for U.S. citizenship right now is $725.
$725, Tintin.
All right, let's see here. So, hold on. I've got some questions here as well.
Missy watching from Washington. That's super cool. And we've got Patrick here. He's from Ohio, Cleveland, Mentor on the Lake. Woo woo. Yeah, buddy. All right.
John is from Akron. So
yeah, I grew up in Akron, Ohio, just south down the road from Cleveland. So I'm glad you're joining us from Cleveland. That's cool. Oh, and here's Sizzy is joining us tonight from New York.
All right. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming in and watching. Let me put this question up. I need a little bit of clarification on this, Gloria. She says, I asked something that long to get passport or visa. Do I have to keep following up from my husband? Last July 16, 2020, I need to get my 2 kids need green card. Can you give advice on that? I'm not sure what the question is, Gloria. If you want to rephrase what the question is and what the issue is, be happy to answer that for you. All right.
Globe Traveler here wants to know, are you specialized in Canadian immigration law? We are not specialized in Canadian immigration law, unfortunately.
But reach out and we can give you a referral to someone who can help, or give you a list of attorneys that we that are part of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Just send that list over to you.
That's right. Until our Toronto office opens.
We love Toronto. So awesome. Okay. Joshua has a really great question. For a green card holder, what is the maximum stay outside of the United States without question? So I would say no more than 6 months. But if you are traveling in and out, even if you stay out less than 6 months, you could get questioned about that. So be careful. With regard to reentry permit, this is just my personal preference. The reentry permit instructions say don't fill this form out unless you're out for more than a year. But if I know that my clients are going to be out for more than 6 months, then I do the reentry permit for them. But less than 6 is my official tip. Joshua, hopefully that helps. Rimpy, you're so very welcome. All right, here. Do we have any questions? So I sent you a couple of people who registered.
Yeah, I'm getting all the questions we have, so I think that they are. So we have Paula Morenin says, I will...
He's here. Okay, wait.
Oh.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead and read that.
I will petition my husband, and they're now working 4.5 to 7 months. Will it be faster if I'm a U.S. citizen?
I'm sorry. Can you read that question again?
Yeah, I'm confused by it as well. I will petition my husband, and they are now working 4.5 to 7 months.
Okay.
Will it be faster if I'm a U.S. citizen?
So essentially, yeah. So essentially, if you are a lawful permanent, then we get this question: should I petition for my spouse as a lawful permanent resident, or should I wait till I become a U.S. citizen? And our tip today is file the petition. Yeah. File it as a lawful permanent resident. If you want to when you're eligible, or if you're eligible now, apply for a U.S. citizen. Go ahead, apply for U.S. citizenship. That's probably going to take over a year. But you want that I-130 petition lodged. You want to file it. You want to get your priority first in, first out, file. And then with regard to the timing, the visa bulletin right now for March and February, it's current for 2A, F2A, which is family-based preference category, spouses and unmarried children under 21 of lawful permanent residents. But it's not going to stay current, guys. So you got to file, and then when the timing is right, when you're eligible, file for U.S. citizenship. So file. Doesn't really quite answer the question, but
yeah, I was wondering about
it does answer the question.
4.5 to 7 months.
So I think that's just the petition is pending. It's going to take them 4.5 to 7 months to approve that.
Okay,
it's going to take longer
than I am.
Yeah,
Great.
It's going to take longer than that. All right, let's see here.
Okay.
This is not good. So Zelmar de Rosario says green card holders stayed outside of the United States for more than a year and got denied upon interview. Yes, that can happen. I'm curious to know whether that happened at the port of entry when they were coming in, and more details about that, because we'd love to share that and just get some more insight on that. Okay, all right. So many great questions on our live stream here.
We've got,
and we're just
TikTok too,
knocking them out one by one. Okay, Bon, hello, Bon. I'm married with an American citizen. I also have a son in the Philippines, 4 years old. My petition for my son also. Will my wife need to adopt my son in order to come to the United States? What are the requirements? Okay, let's see here. Bond is married to a U.S. citizen, has a son in the Philippines. I petitioned my son also. Who did? Will my wife need to adopt my son in order to come to the United States? Okay. So if I'm understanding this correctly, you are being petitioned for by a U.S. citizen, right? And the son is 4 years old. Does your U.S. citizen spouse need to adopt the son? I believe that is the question. The answer is no. The stepchild is going to be treated like a biological child in this instance, because the child is under the age of 21 and because you all got married before he turned 18. So your wife, who is a citizen, right? Okay, we don't know if the wife is. Oh yeah. Okay, your wife has to file the petition for you and a separate petition for your 4-year-old son, but she does not have to adopt him. All right, I think I got that. Do you have a question? Because I'm just whipping them out here.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go take a couple more here. We've got, unless you want to go back and forth. Well, we'll just take one right here.
Yeah, take one.
Kathy wants to know, how long a wait is it for the green card to come after my interview?
So usually it only takes a couple of weeks before that immigrant visa is processed. So hopefully not long afterwards. That's typically the case. Great question. Sarah says, how do I apply for a tourist visa? Is it a difficult, long process? It does depend on where you are. I think depending on who you are, how old you are, what assets you might have, how much money is in your bank account, all of these things are considerations when applying for a tourist visa and when an officer is looking at you and interviewing you. So the main thing to consider here is your intent to return back to your country after your short visit in the United States as a tourist. So if, for example, you are single, you're 23, you live with your parents, you don't have a job back home, you're not in school, your parents are not well off, they're, let's just say lower income level, you're probably not going to get a tourist visa. Okay. So that's an example. And again, even people who are well-to-do and have means may not get the tourist visa if the officer believes that you don't really have the intent to return. And it takes into consideration what family members do you have living in the United States. So if you're 25 years old, and your parents are here and parents have actually already petitioned for you, you have an I-130 petition pending, it's going to be tough to get that tourist visa. I've seen it where people actually have made a misrepresentation and said that they don't have any I-130 petitions pending, they don't have any family members in the United States. That came to harm them in the future, in their future immigration case. But anyhow, these are some considerations. It can be difficult and it can be long depending on where you're from and what you have. All right.
Okay, so it's Jana Bentalonis wants to know, hi, my grandma just passed away last year and she's our petitioner, but we were just about to do the interview.
Last year, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That's very sad that your grandmother passed away. And then on top of that, you have an immigration situation. So there is a remedy for that. It's called humanitarian reinstatement. That is the good news. The bad news for humanitarian reinstatement is it is a lengthy process. And it does require another petitioner, well, not a petitioner, sorry, another financial sponsor to step in the shoes of the petitioner. So please reach out to our office. Mm-hmm. We do humanitarian reinstatement. Our office number is 757-464-9224. And you can also email us at info@gmlaw.net. Humanitarian reinstatement is really kind of a case, labor of love case, because it's a lot of labor and not labor. It is. Yeah. It's time, it's waiting, it's frustrating, it's difficult, but it works if it works. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we have reunited families who have been separated, and it is an amazing feeling. One of the families, and they have given me permission to tell their story, but all the siblings came. I believe there were 11 of them. 11. The one sibling got left behind, and after about 3 years, well, no, she's in the Philippines for the longest time, but after 3 years of humanitarian reinstatement processing, we were able to bring the last sibling here with her 2 children. Her son went on to join the U.S. Navy, like all of his other aunts and uncles who are here. And John and I went in and we went to tour Operation Smile recently. And our tour guide, he was like, hey, I know you. You helped my family with all of our immigration cases. Right, that's right. And it's cool. Humanitarian reinstatement, like we love humanitarian reinstatement when it works. But boy, when we're going through that process is really challenging, and it's definitely doable, but it takes a lot of patience. So please reach out. We can help you with that. Okay. Casey says, great question. I am here in the United States on H-1B through a staffing agency. It is legal to have another employer sponsor a concurrent visa for me, right? So I can do another job legally. That is correct. You can have another job petition for you. Deanna Walker, so sweet. It is worth every penny to make sure everything is done the right way. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you for your support, and thanks for coming to our live stream tonight, Miss Deanna.
We can get you next year. We're going to get you to say that live during the Super Bowl. Okay.
No, not the Super Bowl. All right. What do we have over there in TikTok? Okay, there's got to be some questions there, but maybe they're all coming here. Guys, if you want to come to Facebook and type your question in, no character limitations, please come on over. If you want to stay there, that's completely fine too. We're happy to be here. We're happy to be answering these questions.
Right.
And going on vacation tomorrow.
Radlin is really good at some of these questions. I have trouble figuring out exactly what the question is, but Radlin is an ace at sort of reading the stitches on the fastballs coming in here.
Maybe I could be totally wrong. I mean,
but Cullet Bullet 2014, and she teases me. I like to say the
full
username just because they're interesting. Says, hi, attorney. How do I correct it if the person at the time of entry was underage without the parent and they were petitioned by the grandmother? So they were petitioned.
What?
Yeah, that's why this is the
okay.
This is the fastball. So
all right, let's do this. This is a Filipino case for sure.
Someone was petitioned by the grandmother.
Okay.
And the person entered the United States underage, and they were not with the parents apparently or the grandmother. Okay. And so now the question is, what can they do? How do they correct that? Or can they correct that?
So I don't know what the petition is. Grandparent typically cannot, not typically. You can't petition for a grandson. That's not a part of the categories. So I'm not sure what you mean by petitioning for the grandson, maybe sponsoring, or I'm not sure exactly what that is. Sorry. Just because the grandparent cannot petition for a grandson, so that I'm a little bit confused about.
Right. Okay, so that was not a fastball to read stitches. That was a curveball.
It's a curveball. Yes.
It did not go over the plate, so it's a ball. Throw the pitch again.
Throw it again.
Hopefully
Let's see what we have.
Get it. Okay.
All right. Rose says, so if I petition my husband from the Philippines, what do I need to bring from there when I do the paperwork here? So guys, when we file a petition or we file application with USCIS, we never send in original documentation. But Rose, if you want, you can get 2 passport style photos from your husband, so you don't have to get them again. He can also send them to you electronically, and you'd have to print it out. But everything that's required can be a copy. It can be a scanned copy. If you want to get his signature if you're there and you want to get a signature on an I-130A, then you can do that. But everything, again, can be sent to you. It does not have to be original. Hopefully that helps.
All right, here's a question, the good one. We deal with this from time to time. Do I need to apply for U.S. citizenship for my daughter? She was 17 years old when we got our citizenship, and now she's 18.
Okay. So most likely in that scenario, you can apply for she can apply for a U.S. passport showing that her parents naturalized prior to her 18th birthday. And certificate of citizenship is an option as well. I need to check the rules on that to make sure that didn't have to get done before 18. I don't think it did, because it was established at the time the parents naturalized, whether you got that documentation or not. So hopefully that helps. I'm pretty sure that you don't. The fact that she's over 18 now it doesn't matter.
Okay. Good to know.
But don't I would get help. Do not go pay for a certificate of citizenship based on what I'm telling you right now.
Right. Let us look into it more carefully. It'll be worth every penny, as Deanna said.
That's right. It'll be worth every penny. Yeah. So going back to that, guys, and we want to just make sure, because some people are joining us, want to reintroduce ourselves. I'm Radha Mendoza, and this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner. We started our law firm 22 years ago in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's called Gardner and Mendoza. We have an amazing team,
we do.
And we do really great work. But if you all need additional assistance than from what we're talking about here, you can give us a call for consultation at 757-464-9224, or you can reach out to us via email, info at gmlaw.net. That's gmlaw.net, not com. It's not gmail.com. It's gmlaw.net.
.net.
Yes. We charge $275 for a consultation. The consultations are all virtual, usually through Zoom. and it's up to a 1-hour consultation. We go through all the facts of your case and make sure that we're covering all the bases, your family members, things that have happened, and make sure that we're able to give you solid advice during that consultation, not while we're sitting here in front of the camera.
Right. And I love when people, I like to see all these folks joining from different places all over the country and all over the world, because we have clients all over the country and all over the world. We're physically located in Virginia Beach, Virginia,
Yep.
in the East Coast of the United States. But we do have clients all over the country, all over the world. It doesn't matter where you are. If you need immigration help and you want to hire an immigration lawyer, or just talk to an immigration lawyer and get some really firm advice about your case based on the facts, after we've done a real deep dive to make sure that we've got everything correct that's happened, give us a call, because we're happy to help you out, and we can do that no matter where you are. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. This is a really good question from Shweta. My cousin had a few charges in the past 2010, but now his case is expunged. So as per country, the green card current date is 2013 is going on, but priority date is 2016. And so is that the right time to consult with you for a waiver and all, or at the time of when his priority date would be current, then he needs to connect with your firm? So Shweta, the issue is going to be there. It's going to be the same, right? It's going to be, let's take a look at these charges. Let's just see if they are going to even be a problem for the green card application. It depends on, resources. It depends on the time. Does your cousin have time to consult with us now? He can, because it's going to be the same answer even when his priority date is current. So this happens. I mean, we have cases where we know that there's going to be something that might be a problem, and we like to see it sooner rather than later. Now there's years here, but yes, we like to look at things sooner rather than later. I think it gives the if it's something where it can be resolved, then your cousin might have a little bit of peace of mind, right? That, okay, I'm worrying about this, but the attorney thinks that it can be resolved. There's case law here. It may give your cousin peace of mind if it's something that we can make sure does not become a problem at the time of his green card. So really, really great question. Thank you for that. All right. What do we have?
Doug's Mercy wants to know, when can I file for citizenship? I'm living here in the United States for 3 years. And then he says, and I went to Mexico. I'm not sure what the last part of that sentence.
How long did he go for? A short visit to Mexico is not going to be a problem. If you've been a lawful permanent resident for 3 years and you've been married to a U.S. citizen, living with that citizen for 3 years, then you can apply for U.S. citizenship. Now, again, make sure that calculation is correct. So look at the time of your green card. If you're not married to a U.S. citizen, then you have to wait 5. A short trip to Mexico is not going to be a problem for you. All right. PM has a really good question. Good question. PM says, thank you. I'm going to apply for naturalization this year. Since I did the re-entry permit, I just need 4 years and a day. Can I apply 90 days early just like the others? No, you cannot. It has to be 4 years and a day. And what this question is if you're out of the United States for more than a year, the time that you have to apply for U.S. citizenship is 4 years and a day, no matter how long you've been a resident. And so it's a good question. I'm glad you're aware of the rule. Just wait the 4 years and a day. Maybe you should do 4 years and 2 days, just in case someone has a different calculation. But good luck with that. We're very well aware of the 4 years and a day issue. All right. Let's see here. You are welcome, Bon. I'm glad I got the question right. All right. Let's see here.
You want to take one there?
No, go ahead.
All right. So what about Husky wants to know, this could be a long answer, but it's going to not be a super long answer, because we're just going to give out the basics. And
Okay. So yes, John is warning me.
What about Husky wants to know, is there any way for an international student, presumably on a student visa, to become a permanent resident? Yes.
Yeah, there are ways, and let's talk about the non-obvious one. So sometimes people ask us, say, hey, we want to do the student visa. Do you think that's a good idea? I mean, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea to do a student visa. I mean, a lot of times people meet the loves of their lives in school, and it's a time when people get married and they have relationships, and so maybe the person you're getting married to is a U.S. citizen, so that U.S. citizen can petition for you for your green card. That happens often. We have a lot of students on F1s who get married to their classmates. So that's one way, right?
Yeah, meeting in school and falling in love. I mean, it happened to us. Neither of us was on a student visa, but we met in law school and fell in love.
John was on a student visa.
That's
just kidding. That's an inside joke. Yeah, right. So that's one way. The other ways, there's employment. So if you are lucky enough to have an employer to do an H-1B for you, and you're lucky enough to get chosen in the lottery, and then that employer really likes you, and then they also do perm for you, labor certification for permanent employment, that's another way. If you are a person of extraordinary ability and your resume can show that, I'm not going to go over the requirements right now, but if you're a person of extraordinary ability, then that's also a possibility for you to get a green card. If you if you are doing work in the national interest, you can potentially get a national interest waiver. So there are several ways, but I kind of look at them as family and employment, generally speaking. Of course, there are humanitarian ways as well, but in a nutshell, that's. See, I didn't go too long on that.
Perfect. It was just perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We already kind of touched on this. Has come up a couple times, but Felicia wants to know, hi, ma'am, I've been here for 4 years already. Can I apply now for citizenship?
Again, it depends on whether you're applying early based on marriage to U.S. citizen, living with that U.S. citizen for 3 years, or if anything else, if it is through the U.S. citizen spouse and living with that U.S. citizen spouse for 3 years, then yes, you can, because it's only 3 years. It's actually 2 years and 9 months, because you can apply 90 days early. All right, let's see.
We got another person watching. Bonix 15 is also joining us from New York. So
right, yeah, we are going to New York. We're going in June.
That's right.
Yes, we love New York. We went to school in Newark, New Jersey,
right across the Hudson River, not far.
A path train away from the city. Right. We had a really great time. And my sense of direction is terrible, even though John always told me that it's a grid, right? Is that what you said?
New York City is a grid.
I just followed him around. I just followed him.
If you live in New York long enough, you learn that if you walk 1 block from wherever you are, walk 1 block, and you'll know where you are. You'll know whether you've moved north or south, or whether you've moved east or west, and then from there you can figure out where to go.
Right. So
keep that in mind when you come out of the subway. Just walk 1 block.
I never.
In any direction.
I was always mad. I wasn't mad, but John would always say, "Oh, it's just 4 blocks," but these are 4 city blocks, and never had appropriate shoes on. It's not like I was wearing running shoes when I was 24 years old. No, I was wearing,
especially if you're going east to west,
inappropriate
or west to east in New York,
heels or something like that. I mean, I still don't wear running shoes, but anyway, okay. So, Casey has a follow-up question. She says, how can I get an employer here in the United States to sponsor me for a concurrent visa to work a part-time job, since I'm doing full-time now? So that is going to be a job search, and finding an employer who is open to doing H-1B visas. Just met with a company this week, and they are starting to they wanted information on doing H-1B visas. So there are old companies out there. I think that if you Google H-1B companies, some people have put together lists where companies have sponsored H-1Bs. I mean, you're in the healthcare industry. I think that be pretty, I'm not going to say easy, but I think a little bit of Google searching, you'll be able to find some companies out there that, especially in the healthcare industry. Hope that helps.
All right, we have so many questions.
So many questions. Okay, let's go. Let's just do rapid style. Let's go.
Okay, can I have some of them are harder to understand. Can I have advanced parole without applying for a green card?
Not that I know of. We've only done advanced parole with in conjunction with lawful permanent resident cards, DACA, TPS. No, not. Yeah. Would that be? Yeah. And in the green card application.
All right. Here's going to be a depends question. Not depends the diaper. It depends. That's what lawyers say. That
it depends. Depends question.
Question is, I'm a green card holder waiting for my citizenship. And the question is, can I file for my husband who is out of status?
Now?
Yes.
Okay. So it depends. No. So you can always file the I-130 petition for your spouse. If your spouse is out of status, if your spouse is in status, your spouse is not going to be able to do adjustment of status. So if you want to wait to become a U.S. citizen and concurrently file the I-130 and your husband's adjustment of status, that may be the way to go. Previously, in different periods of ICE activity, immigration and customs enforcement, both in the Trump administration as well as in the Obama administration, there's sometimes a lot of ICE activity, right? Like, oh, they're picking everyone up. They're going to they're going to Walmart and they're going to just arrest everyone who doesn't speak English, right? I mean, all those rumors and stuff. If that was a concern for you, then our tip to those, I mean, it was actually our advice, but our tip would be to go ahead and file the I-130 petition. So you have like a back pocket little piece of paper and like, oh, well, my spouse who's a lawful permanent resident filed an I-130 petition for me. She's getting ready to become a U.S. citizen. And therefore, once she does, I'm able to concurrently file even though I've been out of status. So it depends. But we'll be happy to, we've done a lot of those cases. Again, if you need more guidance on that, feel free to reach out to us. Do you want to shout out our contact info?
Yeah, our phone number is 757-464-9224 or info@gmlaw.net. All right. Or you can go to our Facebook page.
All right. Yep, that's right. You can go to our Facebook page at Gardner Mendoza Law. You can just put, at Gardner Mendoza Law. All right. Do you have a question there?
Let's see here.
Okay. While you're looking at that, how long do you think it will take? Soleimani says, how long do you think it will take to petition my wife and 2 kids? And can I do it myself or do you advise me as a lawyer? So again, Soleimani, it depends. It depends on whether you are a lawful permanent resident or a U.S. citizen. It depends on how old your children are. Can you do it by yourself? You do not need an attorney to file the case, but I would highly recommend that you use an attorney, whether it's us or another reputable immigration attorney. This is a long process. If you're a lawful permanent resident, you file an I-130 petition. Your children are on that I-130 petition. If you've on your wife's I-130 petition. But down the road, if you become a U.S. citizen, then that's going to change. And then you have to go back and file 2 I-130 petitions for your kids. If you're a U.S. citizen, you have to file 3 separate I-130s. You have to go through the National Visa Center processing. It's really nice to have somebody by your side going through that whole journey. And again, you can do it by yourself, just like we can do our taxes by ourselves, just like we can do our website by ourselves, just like we can repair our roof on our house by ourselves.
Yeah, just like a criminal defendant can waive counsel. and represent themselves.
Do you want a roofing company to do it for you, or do you want to do it by yourself? Do you want to pay the roofing company, or do you want to take the time to do it by yourself? It's that, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication to be on top of it, especially if your family, I mean, it doesn't even matter where they are, whether they're abroad. It sounds like your family's abroad, whether they're here in the United States. It just takes a lot, and a lot of things can go wrong. So yes, I highly recommend that you have an immigration attorney. I highly recommend that we do the case for you. But if you want someone in your backyard, that's in your area code, that's close to you, then go have at it. Make sure they're reputable and have, good credentials.
And if you really just want to do it yourself,
see you here every week.
You can.
Yeah.
I mean, so just to answer that question, I mean, you don't have to have a lawyer to do this, but it's highly recommended, of course.
Right.
And if you're going to hire a lawyer, it may as well be
us.
Right. Okay. Quick question.
Selling on the stage.
Yeah,
selling on the stage.
That's right. Quick question. How long approximately does a VAWA case take?
A really long time. Years.
Years.
Yep.
All right.
Several years.
Okay. Several years.
All right. Okay. Mazen has a small question, he says. Here, let's see. I'm not going to put on the screen because it covers. I hope I can get an answer for you guys. So apply for my fiance a K1 visa. Everything has been approved. We have been waiting for the interview for about a year now. The U.S. Embassy in her home country says emergency appointments only. My question is there a way to change the interview location to a different country where she is not a resident? Like if she goes to that country using a tourist visa. Thank you very much. You are welcome, as in that, from what I know, is not a possibility. Now, if she were a resident in another country, then yes, she would be able to do her interview in another country. But if she's just there visiting, no, that is not going to be a possibility. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry that you've been waiting for such a long time. Yeah. Okay.
Question here is on a J1 visa and got married.
Is it Ernest?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Hello, Ernest.
Look at that.
Ernest is here. He's there. He's everywhere.
Ernest
and this
just
is probably
right when I got
probably our last question because we have to pack. We have to pack, but we will be back.
We're out of time.
We're also out of time. Yeah. All right. I have a friend who's been here for over 4 years. My friend arrived in the United States in 2018. Her J1 is only valid for a year, now overstaying her visa. Although she married an American citizen in 2020, my question is, can she apply for a green card visa? Does she have to go back to her country? So the issue here, Ernest, and you are a good friend to be asking for your friend. The issue is, can someone who is here on a J1 visa, who has overstayed their visa, get married to a U.S. citizen and apply for adjustment of status without having to go back to her country? The answer is generally yes. She can do that. And no, she does not have to go back to her country. And what a great question to end on. Yes? Do we have another great one to end on?
Well, what's really cool is the next question I was going to get to was almost an identical question. Gen CM3 wanted to know, J1 teacher here, married to a U.S. citizen. When can I apply for a green card? So boom, knocked out 2 and 1 right there.
2 and 1. Fantastic. So for you guys who we did not get to your question, we are very sorry. I'm scrolling here. These are amazing questions. They really are fantastic questions. I'm going to take a look at them in the comments because we typically answer all the questions in our Facebook comments, but we didn't get to about 10 of them. So I'm going to take a look at them and get back to you guys in the comments, but we will be here again next Wednesday.
Right.
Oh,
and I'm going to answer the very last question.
Okay. Very last question.
Chick Apple Talk wants to know, can I hire you, please? The answer to that is yes.
Yes. Yes, you can. Absolutely. So this is our youngest daughter. She is our timekeeper, and she tells us that it is time to cook her dinner.
That's right. Basically.
It is time to end this. And we just want to thank you guys all for a really awesome night.
Yeah, great questions.
Q&As. And we will see you next Wednesday. We are going on a short trip for a couple of days. And when we come back, I will be 50 years old.
That's right. Happy birthday almost.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
2 thumbs up, guys. Y'all are amazing.
We
Thank
will
you
see
so
here
much.
next Wednesday.
Yeah, great
at 8
questions.
o'clock. Bring your questions, okay?
All right.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.